This is a bit awkward. And my eyeliner is wonky. Great. Lovely. It's currently 8 a.m. I was supposed to have an interview. The interview never even bothered to show up. I have a box of cake. Let's eat and let's talk. I feel like I, for some weird reason, not owe you guys an explanation to like the 5 people that watch my YouTube videos, but I do owe, not owe an explanation, but like I do feel like I want to talk about it in some kind of sense as much as I can to explain my side of things as to why I decided to take off my hijab. No, no. An angel lost its wings. I know. I know. Okay, I know. But I feel like I should talk about it because, you know, why not? It's my channel. I can do whatever I want. You know, for the 5 people that watch me, I love you. I love you. And, you know, me and you were like this. We're like tied like a booty hole, locked in forever. You know what I'm saying? Please forgive my voice because it is 8 o'clock in the morning. I did attempt to get ready for an interview and then she just didn't show up. She was like 8:25. She messages me, she emails me at like 7 in the evening, 8:25 in the morning. Are you available to do that? I see it before bed at like 1 a.m. and I'm like, yeah, I can do that. Then I email her again at like 7. I'm like, yeah, I can still do it. No response. No response. She's not there. It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business as a dad. But yeah. I just want to preface this video like I always usually do when I do my get ready with me's or my little sit down videos, which by the way I haven't done this so much and I want to start doing more because I have so much to say. I have so much to say and nobody wants to hear it. But I do miss these type of videos and I haven't done it in a very, very, very long time because I did take a break from YouTube and I'm so sorry about that, but it was all because I will explain it later. Me explaining it like one of those like YouTube apology videos, like I have like 500k subs, like guys I took a break, like a lot happened, like I can explain. If you click on this video because of the title of it and you are ignorant and closed-minded and you just won't understand and you're coming on here to judge and hate, please just click off. If you're a man, also click off because I just don't care for your opinion. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't care who you are. I do not care for your opinion. And what else? Yes, my face is swollen because it's 8 in the morning and this is not my best look. But this is what I look like. And I don't know what to say. Everybody decided to sleep in my room today and it's annoying because I can never film in there and it's just not as aesthetically pleasing as like my sister's room. Somehow she's managed to, in the trauma of it all, in the PTSD of it all, arrange her room in a way that's so calming and peaceful, and I hope to bring these vibes to you guys. Calming, pink, there's pink everywhere. I don't know if you can see, everything's pink. The curtains right now are pink. It's all pink, everything's pink. Her bedding is literally pink, her pillows are pink. But you know what, I thought it would be good vibes because my room is not aesthetically pleasing in any sort of way. I mean, the walls haven't been painted since like 1965. And that predates to my dad's existence, so I don't like usually filming in there unless I have to. And I feel like sometimes that's why my videos don't do well because like the background of my videos. Anyways, we're getting sidetracked. Yeah, so let's talk about it. So as I open up, hello, as I open up this chocolate cake from yesterday, yes, I did save up £10 for a chocolate cake. Yeah, a vegan chocolate cake. Because what can I say? I'm just a girl at the end of the day who likes to do girl things. And yes, this is my breakfast. And what are you gonna do about it? Don't mind the fucking ambulance that is having a midlife crisis and figure out if their horn works or not. I don't know what the frick that is about. But anyways, I hope to God you guys can hear me and the microphone is on because I'm not filming this again. Either this video is gonna be like 65 minutes long, gonna be like 10 minutes long because I don't know what to say, or I'm gonna say too much. So if you're in the mood for a sit down video, a podcast type video, a video essay type video, like my channel usually used to do, sit down, relax, do your homework, do your schoolwork, I don't know, do the dishes like your mom's been telling you to do, clean the house before she comes home, take the chicken out of the freezer, I don't know, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to say, you know what I mean? Take me shopping, I don't mind. Take me wherever you want to take me, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I should probably start by telling you guys why I deleted all my videos. I did end up having a midlife crisis. I struggle with my mental health so much. This is the plain and simple answer, okay, as to why I took off my hijab. I struggle with my mental health. I have struggled with my mental health my whole life. I didn't understand and didn't acknowledge or know about how bad my mental health was, or what it was even like to not be me, and that what I was going through and what I was doing was not the normal, and the way that I was thinking was not the normal. I didn't know that until maybe I was in high school, until maybe the existence of TikTok, which I know sounds crazy, or like just growing up. But I probably have had mental health issues since I was like maybe, I don't know, 10, 11, 12. Like, I've always struggled with self image. I've always struggled with self confidence. I've always struggled with depression, anxiety, girl, trauma, you name it, I have it. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't want to say I have not been formally diagnosed, because the NHS is shit. And the process of getting diagnosed, if you do not have the money, is honestly, it's insane. It's diabolically insane. And it is just a lot of hard work and a lot of effort. But maybe one day I will have the courage to, actually put up with it and actually go through with it. But I have tried in the past, but yeah. If you don't know, from my tiny, minuscule, ant-sized channel, I used to make videos. This is why I wanted to make this video, because I thought it would be very hypocritical of me not to make it, because my whole channel was based off of kind of modesty, the hijab, the journeys of the hijab. Like, I did my hijab journey video. I did a video that blew up on like, you guys do not understand the real purpose of the hijab. I did other videos with my hijab on, like modest fashion type videos and other funny videos or whatever. But I kind of went through a mental break and like mental breakdown, and like kind of just, I need to burp, and kind of just like deleted all my videos, which I wish I didn't do, because some of those videos were really cool, and they were really funny, and even though they had nothing to do with the hijab, I don't know why I deleted them, because they were kind of funny. I've always been a big advocate for the hijab, but I've always seen it in a different way. And you guys know, if you've been watching my YouTube videos, which some of you have, because a girl DM'd me yesterday from Australia. So take that. If you're out there, hi. Oh my god, hi. It's so weird that you're like, and I just texted you like, no way, you're from Australia, and now you're gonna see this. If you ever watch this, please don't leave. If you think I'm weird, don't leave. I would, one of my main videos and one of my main belief systems for the hijab was that you do not need to amplify, was trying to get the point across for the newer generation and like younger kids who wanted to put on the hijab, or girls who wanted to put on the hijab, or even older girls who wanted to put on the hijab, was that like, you do not need to amplify your beauty when you put on the hijab. You do not need to replace you hiding your hair and your body from with, oh freaking talk, with you do not need to you don't need to amplify your beauty when you hide your hair and become modest. Like, it's not a give or take situation when you put on the hijab. It's not like, oh, I put on the hijab, now I'm gonna learn how to do makeup, now I'm gonna amplify my eyes, now I'm gonna amplify every single feature that I have on my face, because that's what I did. And that was one of the reasons in the beginning why I didn't want to put on the hijab. It was one of the things that stopped me, because of social media, definitely because of TikTok. Those girls on there are gorgeous. It was always the light skin hijabis. They had the perfect, like, symmetrical face, light skin, and big puffy lips, like perfect teeth. I'm jealous. I'm joking. Like, they had the perfect big eyes, and they just would wear so much makeup. And it's no hate to them, obviously, but when you see that as someone who wants to start wearing the hijab, you're like, oh well, I can't wear it because I don't look as pretty as they do. I don't live up to the standards of the hijab. And yes, there are standards of the hijab. I don't know if people want to believe that or not, or if they're going to be blinded by it, but most TikTokers, Muslim influencers, they are the reasons, and they have created this like standard for the hijab and standard for modesty, that you need to look a certain way, you need to be able to do certain things, you need to be able to present yourself in a certain way when you wear the hijab. Me? I'm completely different, girl. I would wear the hijab. Don't get me wrong. I did used to wear pounds and pounds of makeup when I wore the hijab, and I still wear makeup too. But I used to walk around in my night clothes, or I used to wear baggy t-shirts and never look good together, and still put on my hijab. Like, I used to go barefaced. I used to like go sometimes with my mustache sticking out, like just looking like a normal human being. And I felt like people looked at you in such a weird way when you wore the hijab. And like, it's probably more online too. I need to eat this. Don't even chat to me, bro. Now I need to learn makeup. Now I need to amplify my beauty. Now I need to change my style of clothing. Now I need to do this. Now I need to do that. Don't get me wrong. If you're going from like showing your belly, showing your legs or whatever, showing your arms to whatever to then modest clothing, that's obviously fine and that's encouraged. But I'm talking about like if you have a specific style of clothing, if you like to dress like a boy, if you like to, not wear skirts or things like that, don't feel the need that you need to fit into the hijabi beauty standards. That's basically what I would advocate. I would like be somebody who would come online with a hijab, no makeup, baggy t-shirts, sweatpants, and just like I don't look like your average hijabi either. Like let's be honest, I don't have very eccentric um, facial features. I'm not very what's the word? Um, what's the word? I don't fit into the beauty standards. I don't fit into any beauty standards. I don't care. It's fine. It's whatever. You get used to it. You know what I mean? You grow up with this face. You learn to get used to it. It's fine. But like I knew that. But it was one of the things that put me off of wearing the hijab. Anyways, we're getting sidetracked. That's basically what my channel used to be. So I thought I would come on here and tell people, like, tell you guys specifically why I decided to take it off. And just because if there's somebody else out there who feels the same way, I need to know that I'm not alone. This may or may not be a cry for help. Depending on where it takes to turn, I might end up crying. I might end up just not giving you guys any information. And this might be a useless 20-minute video. But yeah, did decide to make this video because I want to know that I'm not alone and there are other girls who feel like this, and whether it be of social media, whether it be because of your family, whether it be because of the way that life is just treating you, I want to know that I'm not the only one. I think one thing about one gap in the Muslim community, one gap in the Ummah, and like Islam, like teaching Islam and everything, we're missing a huge, phenomenal, gigantic gap in the market for mental health. Mental health advocacy for young Muslims or even older Muslims, just Muslims in general. For young Muslims, mental health, doing it the right way, advocating the right way, using Islam to help you, using Islam to heal you. Like, it's just, there's so much misinformation, there's just such a gap. You're just never told by your parents, you're never told by anybody that having bad mental health is normal. It happens to everybody. It's completely fine. It's the way humans were created. If God didn't want us to have a certain thing, he would have never made it. You know what I'm saying? If he didn't want us to be so complex and he wanted us to be simple minded, he wanted us to be perfect. He wanted us to be bland and boring and not complex and not have complex emotions or go through complex things or make our minds so complex. He wouldn't have made it that way. You know what I mean? I hate the fact that in the Muslim community, mental health is either just not looked at all or it's looked at in a bad light where it's like, girl, just pray more. Like the amount of times you'll see TikToks of people saying, just pray more. Or the amount of times I guarantee you, if I told my parents that I'm struggling with mental health, just pray, just open the Quran, just read the Quran, just pray, just make dua. Those things help you, but to a certain extent. You know what I mean? Telling someone who's thinking of killing themselves every single day, every moment of the day, they can't sleep, they're losing sleep because their mental health has gone down the drain, telling them to get up and read Fajr, Zuhur, Asr, Maghrib, Isha, that's great. Do it, of course. Read your daily 5 prayers no matter what situation you're in, right? No matter what you're going through, never abandon your prayers. But at the same time, is that going to heal them instantly? Is that going to fix all their problems? No. Usually people with bad mental health who are in such a bad down position, like they're in the depths of their despair, they want a quick fix. They want someone to come and save them in a way. They want healing. They want instant gratification. They want to feel okay instantly. Give me the cure right now. Give me the cure right now. Hell it to me because I need it. I need it. I'm begging for it at this point. That's why, like, I don't know, a lot of, I hopefully, like, the more young Muslims have an influence, the more young Muslims take over the old Muslim stuff, and like we move up and we become the older generation, hopefully we'll be more open to discussing mental health in a good way, in a positive way, in a way that aligns with Islam, in a way that helps people. Because usually the people who try to advocate for mental health don't have necessarily bad mental health or know what it's like to be in the positions that they talk about, and that makes it even more like you can tell they're an outsider trying to be from the inside, and it just doesn't help. But yeah, the reason why I took off my hijab is because I had really bad mental health. I was struggling with depression. I actually wanted to kill myself many, many, many times. By the way, this is not your sign. If you're watching this and you're struggling with your hijab, I am not going to be responsible for that, girl. This is not your sign. This is not a sign from God. This is not your sign to take off the hijab. This is not a go go, a green light. No, your hijab, your choice. Do not put that on me, please. I don't want to be an influence for bad things like that. Which is so funny because I get a lot of DMs from a lot of beautiful girls telling me who I'm friends with now a lot. I'm the reason that they put on the hijab or they're deciding to put it on or they actually put it on and they send me pictures. I'm like, I love that. But at the same time, sitting here and be like, oh yeah, I actually took it off. But I love that I helped you put it on. It's kind of such a weird, strange feeling. Like I can't even explain it. But yeah, that's basically it. If we put it in black and white, I took off the hijab because I was struggling with my mental health. Not because I felt ugly, not because I felt like I needed attention from boys. I could not give a flying shit about that. I could not give a flying shit about them. Honestly, as I grow, I care less and less for men and their opinions and their views and what they think, and I get more and more disgusted by them. Thank you to my father and every male influence out there that I've had. Thank you so much for that. No, I need to be more serious. Yeah, I took it off because I had extremely bad mental health. I wasn't able to explain that to my parents. I wasn't able to explain that to anybody. But the past couple of years, I have been struggling with my mental health. Like I said before, I've always been struggling with it, but it's something that eventually you learn to live with. Unfortunately, you come to realize in a very harsh way that no one's going to come to save you. And on top of that, you will not be cured of depression. Depression is not something that disappears, it is something that you learn to live with. What is that Billie Eilish quote? I swear. Anyways, it's true though. It is something that you learn to live with. It's not something that you can cure. I have tried getting help in the past. My sister forced me to get help in the past. It wasn't really great because the UK doesn't have amazing facilities. The waiting lists are extremely long, which I will never understand because people will literally kill themselves in that time by the time they get the help. But I don't know. I will say the only thing that did help me is God, is religion. But it's strange because people expect you, when you take off the hijab, they expect your hair to be amazing and they expect you to look a certain way and they expect you to suddenly dress a certain way. Just because I took off the hijab, it doesn't necessarily mean that I am less Muslim. Just because I stopped doing one thing for my faith, which, by the way, I want to make it clear, yes, hijab is an obligation. Yes, it is mandatory. Yes, it is also a choice whether or not you want to do it, just like everything in Islam is a choice. Whether you want to be a Muslim is a choice, whether you want to pray 5 times a day, it's a choice at the end of the day. Hijab is also a choice. It is also mandatory. It is wajib in Islam. I understand that. I know that. I'm not fighting that. I'm not um, digressing that, if that's the right word. I'm not debating against it. I know, I acknowledge, I understand. That is my sin to carry at the end of the day. That is my guilt to carry at the end of the day, and that is on me. It's not on anybody else. I don't know why people get so upset that somebody else is doing something that is wrong. If you've told them that it's wrong and they've acknowledged it, I know it's wrong, but I'm just struggling. Move on. Be like, okay, sorry that you're going through that. Hopefully you get better soon. Hopefully you'll get through it. Move on. But man, the Muslim TikTok community is not light-hearted. They are not sweet. They are so toxic. They are so mean. They are so aggressive and blunt and just rude and just they make you it was like somebody from the outside looking into the Islamic community online. I think it would put me off and it would make me understand why the white people see us that way. I'm joking. I'm joking. People are so toxic online. People are so quick to judge online. And that's why I didn't make a video on TikTok, because I knew I would get hate. I knew I would get backlash. I knew I would get disrespect from all corners of the earth on TikTok. But yeah, this is my hair. I took it off because I didn't do anything crazy. I just dyed it, but I always dye my hair. This doesn't mean that I'm gonna. Hold on, guys. I know a lot of Muslim influencers you see, they take off the hijab and they don't tell you necessarily the reason, but you can sometimes, not judging, but sometimes you can tell, oh, they've started doing like dancing TikToks. They started doing TikToks where they're kind of showing off their skin and their body. They've started like now posting more like sensual stuff or flirtatious stuff. They're dressing a certain way and they're going completely 180 in the opposite direction from north to south real quick. With me, I feel like I'm still me. I still dress the same, I look the same, I do the same things. I just took off the hijab. Just because I took off the hijab, no, I'm still a Muslim, by the way. Still a Muslim. I still pray 5 times a day. I still open the Quran whenever I can. I still do all the sunnah things that I've been doing, or the little things that I've always been doing when I was wearing the hijab. And even all the bad things that I was doing when I was wearing the hijab, I still do it because, like, I'm a human being and I'm normal. I'm a big, big advocate for humans are so freaking complex. Humans are so insanely complex. So insanely complex that an ignorant, closed minded person cannot understand, because ignorant, closed minded Muslims, and yes, I am going to keep saying that because there are so many online. I don't know how they are in person, but online, they are so ignorant, they are so close minded, and they think and they speak in a way that is so black and white when that is not the case. Nothing is ever black and white in this life, bro. Nothing. Nothing is ever that simple. Nothing is ever that clear. I don't care what anybody says. Sometimes things are, sometimes things aren't. You know? Like, I just don't even know where to go on from here. The main reason I took it off was because I have bad mental health. I do struggle with depression. This past year has been extremely hard for me. Um, I've been struggling with the duas that I've been making. I've been struggling with accepting God's plan and what God has written for me. I've been struggling with my relationship with God a lot as well. Um, I would say there was a point in my life where I stopped praying because I was so angry. And I don't know why I do this, but I get so angry and frustrated when I get sad, or when a dua doesn't get answered, or when I don't get what I want, or, when I'm doing things the right way and nothing is working out for me still. I get angry and frustrated, and that's the number one main emotion that I get. And it's either it be towards myself, either it be towards God, or whatever. But I get so frustrated. What else do I need to do to hear an answer from God, to be heard by God, or for this feeling to go away? For a long time, I was like, all I need to do is make dua that, like, actually, that's a lie. I think very early on, I understood and I accepted that the way that I feel and the way that I am emoted and made is never going to change. I think I accepted that very early on, that there is no cure for what I have, and it's always just going to be me against my nafs. And sometimes people's nafs are sexual things, sometimes people's nafs are watching things, sometimes people's nafs are doing the other things, sometimes people's nafs are battling drinking or smoking or addictions or this or that. Sometimes your nafs can be mental health. Sometimes your main nafs that you will forever be battling, your main test in this life, might be your mental health. And that shit sucks. And that shit hurts. And that shit is painful. But it is a test at the end of the day. Everything's a test, and that's fine. But yeah, I'm gonna try to explain what led up to me taking off the job. Then I'll try and talk about how my parents reacted and stuff. Basically, these past couple of years have not been great for me. I've been struggling with education wise, I've been struggling. I dropped out of uni. You guys know that. You guys know that. I've talked about that before. I did drop out of uni because of my mental health and everything that happened inside of that period of time. I did struggle with my mental health so much. I struggled with not knowing what to do with my life, with not knowing what to do with my career. Midlife crises that people have at the age of 30 or the age of 50 or 40 even. I had that at the ripe age of like 19, 20. I was like, what the frick am I doing with my life? I didn't know if I wanted to ever go back to uni, do an apprenticeship. If I do an apprenticeship, what do I want to go into? What career I wanted to do, what I wanted to do in my life, what I wanted to be in my life. I was struggling with that a lot, and it was pissing me off. Personal wise, I was also struggling with my self image. I was also struggling with my appearance. I was also struggling with just everything, family issues, and just like life in general, trauma, PTSD, everything basically. And I've dealt with that with my whole life. But these past couple of years, I'd say 3 years, has been so strong, so extremely strong. I don't want to cry, but it's been so extremely strong. And I decided to like take some time off, not take some time off. What the frick am I saying? But yeah, then this year came around, and I was like, I was so hopeful, like I am every year. I try not to lose hope, and I want to say that to this day, there is still an ounce of hope left inside of me, even if it's like a tiny, 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 minuscule amount. There is a tiny hope left inside of me, and I'm gonna try and hold on to that as much as I can. That maybe things will work out eventually. Um, Mm, mm. But yeah, this year especially was like, ah, this year especially was very strangely difficult because I had very high hopes and dreams and things that I wanted to chase and things that I wanted to finally be sorted out, and they weren't sorted out. Um, and also, I think I was just struggling personally and secretly and quietly for so long. Just, I had given up. I had fully given up. The thing with depression is that it comes, sorry for my voice, me talking. The thing about depression is like, the thing about depression, if you, I'm a big person who, like, I can only ever describe it as this. If you have never been depressed for a long period of time, if you have never been in deep, solemn, down, dark, dense depression, you will never know how it feels. And somebody who has been in that position, like me, I would never be able to explain it fully. I would never be able to tell anybody verbally what that is like, how painful it is, how extremely torturous it is, how insane it is to the mind, what it does to the mind. And when you've struggled for that long with no help, the things that it does to you is absolutely insane. I've always been too scared to do it. And also, just the way, if I could describe depression, is it's like suddenly you'll be fine, and then all of a sudden, maybe you'll wake up that night, or you'll go like you maybe you'll get ready to go to bed, or you'll just wake up one day, and suddenly it's like you cannot move. Your body is dense, your body is thick, suddenly your blood is so thick and so heavy. You're like, imagine you're just standing or you're just laying in your bed. You need to get up, you need to do things, you need to say something, you need to go, you want to scream for help, but you can't because your body is so dense that it cannot move. Your body is so exhausted, like it ran from here to America in the water, friggin' cross country from here to Scotland twice, 10,000 times. It's tired, it's exhausted, but it's also in so much pain. It feels like your arms and your legs are being ripped apart. Someone's biting your head off. Someone's got a hammer against your brain. Someone's pounding on your chest. Your heart hurts. Your head hurts. Your soul hurts. Your legs hurt. Everything hurts. Your mind is like in so much pain, but you cannot move. And you're getting these bad, dark thoughts. Whatever you do to distract yourself, it doesn't go away. It doesn't disappear. I've tried reading Quran, I've tried spending the day doing nothing, I've tried praying, I've tried staying awake, making dua and praying. Nothing necessarily fixes it or anything like that. But that's what depression feels like to me. It's like you're being torn apart, but you cannot physically move. It's like you're being torn apart and you cannot physically move or get help or even ask for help. Um, I will never be able to describe it fully. I will never be able to explain it fully. Um, but I don't want to sit here and try and convince people that I struggle with mental health, and I know, and God knows that I struggle with mental health, and that's enough for me, to be honest. But I hate the assumption that I took off the hijab because I'm not worthy enough as a Muslim, or I'm less of a Muslim, because there are hijabis out there who look presentable, who dress the same way, who could flip and be niqabis for all we care, and they could struggle with such a big sin, or they could struggle with waking up for Fajr or even reading their 5 daily prayers. Nobody's perfect, and I hate the fact that people, other Muslims, assume that just because a Muslim is being vulnerable and being brave in taking off the hijab, or in even showing and saying, coming online and being like, help me, like, can anybody help me out there, or like, I'm struggling with this as a Muslim and I want a Muslim community or stuff like that. Like, I hate that there's ignorant people out there who just see everything as black and white, and who be like, you're a bad Muslim, you're gonna go to hell, and like, it's mandatory, it's mandatory. Yes, I freaking know it's mandatory, bro. I freaking know. You don't think I know that? Like, I was the one who was a big advocate for telling girls and people, like, yeah, it's mandatory. At the end of the day, it is mandatory. At some point, you're gonna have to wear it, whether it's now or you be 60 or whatever. It's fine, just wear it. Like, I know it's mandatory. Oh, my leg hurts. I Ow, ow, ow. I was a big advocate for that, girl. I know, like, I know it's mandatory. That doesn't mean that I'm necessarily still not going to struggle and still not going to do something just because it's mandatory. I'm a human being at the end of the day. I am going to be weak. You know, there was many things that came with the hijab that I loved. There were many things that came with the hijab that I didn't love. I think this year specifically, it was very insanely hard. I would be in a depressive episode, and when I hit those depressive episodes, or when an episode comes, or when I have those moments or those waves of like everything is like down here, I want to disappear. My brain wants me to be completely invisible. I want to disappear. I don't want to dress up. I love clothes. I love fashion. I love everything. I don't want to do it. I don't want to style my hair. I don't even want to brush my hair. I don't even want to wash my face. Don't want to brush my teeth. I don't want to do makeup. I don't want to put in my freaking earrings. I don't want to change my clothes. I don't want to do anything. I want to completely disappear. And when I put on the hijab, every time I would want have to leave the house, even if it was just to go for a walk or go to my freaking local park to like sit and get some fresh air, or to go to get some junk food from the corner shop so I can binge eat. Yeah, every time I would wrap the hijab around, I would just get more and more pissed off at it and just hate it so much, because my depression and my mental health at that time, when it was so bad, it makes me feel like you cannot physically disappear if you have this thing on your head. You will always be a target. I don't know for what, but you will always be a target. You will always be looked at. You will always be noticed if you have that thing wrapped around your head. And when I'm depressed and I'm in the deep depths of my despair, I literally want to disappear from the earth. I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be talked to. I don't want to be looked at. I don't even like. Don't even be kind to me. Don't even look at me. Just don't even acknowledge me. I just simply want to disintegrate into the earth's core. Like that's how depressed I get. That's the type of depression I am. I don't know. That's the type of vibes that it's giving when I hit a low. And I had hit a really bad low. My duas were not answered. I had the worst Ramadan this year. I had the yeah, I had the worst Ramadan this year. I couldn't get a freaking job, and that was pissing me off. I couldn't get my duas answered, and that was pissing me off. I had certain dreams and goals and aspirations that I really, really, really wanted to achieve, which weren't crazy, by the way. They were the simplest of things. My dreams and goals would always be very simple, simple things, and just have a very normal, everyday thing that everyday people have that I don't have, and I really wanted for myself, for my family, whatever. And I just wasn't getting it. I couldn't do it. Every time I tried to, basically, every time I would hit a low throughout the years, or especially throughout last year, and ever since I dropped out of uni, which I think was 2024, every time I was struggling and I was crying myself to sleep, I was crying on the John ones every night. Every time I hit one of those insane, insane low, low lows, I would try and dust myself off and tell myself, I would physically make dua and be like, okay, Allah, I'm not giving up. Like, I'm not giving up. I'm going to get back up. Tomorrow, I'm going to get back up. I'm going to get back up. I'm going to get back up. I would tell myself verbally that I'm going to get back up. In my head, I'm going to get back up. I'm going to get back up. And I did. I did get back up. Every single time I would get back up and be like, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. Whether it be getting up to read Fajr, whether it be getting up to have a shower, whether it be brushing my hair, whether it be opening the Quran, or whether it just be even thinking good of God and thinking good of my religion, I would be like, okay, I'm not giving up. Not giving up. Not giving up. This is not it. Like, this is not the end. Get up, get up, get up. I'm not giving up. This is not the end. This is not it. And I would get up every single time. But it happened so much. It would literally just be like this. Like, this is literally, if there was a graph, it would literally be like this. It's just me continuously saying, get up, get up, get up. Test after test after test. Trial after trial after trial. I was like, yo, at some point, I was like, I hit like a wall, and I was like, I can't get up. From this one, I cannot get up. I cannot get up. I cannot get up. Something happened one night with my family, like with my siblings. Something personal happened. I'm not gonna explain it because it's not my story to tell. And honestly, my siblings don't like to they don't like to be on camera whenever I make videos. So I'm not even gonna talk about them. But something personal happened one specific night. And I remember looking at my sister, and we were about to go out to distract ourselves. Like, we were gonna take a quick drive to distract ourselves because something happened with my younger sister, and she was just going through it. And I think watching her tell my older sister and me that like she's going through what I'm going through, that kind of it kind of it kind of made me it made me at my breaking point. That that whole situation, that whole scenario playing itself out where she's crying to us, I was like, uh, that was it. That was it for me. That was the breaking point because I would always sit I would always sit when I was younger and make duas. Or every time I was depressed or something, and I'd be like, you know what? Ya Allah, as long as it's me who goes through this, as long as it's me who carries this weight, who carries this pain, who carries this type of mental illness and these mental health problems, as long as it's me, it's fine. Like I would sit and make du'as telling God to give all of my family's pain to me. I would tell them, give every single pain, every single piece of torture in my parents' hearts or my siblings' heart, give it to me because I can take it, I can handle it. Because I've been going through this from such a young age that I'm used to it and I can handle it because I'm like, I'm used to it, it's fine. I can carry this burden on my own because I have been for such a long time. I was like, just as long as you keep giving it to me and you keep giving me all of that pain and all of that mental, just give it to me and leave them alone. I don't know why I was thinking like that, like everybody's not testing them, but that's just the way my brain was. And I would sit and make those type of du'as and be like, Yallah, as long as it's me going through this and not any of my siblings, I will be fine. You know, I can hold out, I can do this. Just give me all of their pain, all of their problems, all of their issues. Give it to me, give me their test, give me their pains, and not them. Let them be okay, let them be free, let them be fine. You know what I mean? Especially mental health ones. Because I don't want to see my siblings, especially my younger siblings, go through what I went through and not being able to help them and not being even going through it and not being able to know what to do to help them in that situation or to help them when they're going through that. And she kind of tells us that they basically summing it up, she's basically going through the same thing that I'm going through. And I think that was my breaking point at that point where I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm sitting here and she's telling me and she's telling us, and I just can't take it anymore. And I'm so pissed off. My first reaction is to be so pissed off and so angry and so upset at God. And obviously, that's wrong, and you don't need to tell me that's wrong. I know it's wrong because that's not the way that it is. That's not the way that it works. It's not God's fault ever, or whatever, whatever, right? Life happens. That's the whole point of being on this earth. But I was so angry at God in that moment. I was so done. That was my breaking point. I was like, I cannot do this. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done. I'm done with the tests. I'm done with the trials. I'm done with like trying to stand up every single time. I'm done with trying to get up every single time and falling right back down. I'm tired. I cannot do it anymore. Like everybody has their breaking point. Everybody has a certain point. Like yeah, you're only given as much as you can bear. But I'm here bleeding out, and I'm still getting these tests. I'm still getting these trials, and I'm still getting all these problems and these issues, and I'm still going through it. And I'm like, what, how strong do you think I am? Like, how strong of a soldier do you think I am to put me in the front line of the shooting range? Like, come on now, give your girl a break, give your girl a time to breathe. But I wasn't getting that. And seeing my sister in that position was my breaking point. And that very night when we went out, I was like, yeah, I'm not putting it on. And I went up to my sister and I was like, I think I'm gonna take it off. Like, I can't do it anymore. I'm done. And she was like, yeah, okay, fine, let's go. Like, she didn't, not that she didn't care, but she didn't make it as much of a big deal, which I'm glad she didn't, because perks of being a middle child, my parents didn't realize until maybe like a couple of months in, they didn't realize until they saw me go out. And BT dubs, to this day, my dad hasn't realized. That's how you know you're a middle child. Your parents and everybody around you doesn't realize or they don't care. My mom has realized recently, even yesterday, she asked me, why have you taken it off? Blah, 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 blah. She's giving me the same lecture. Oh, you know, we're Muslim, you have to act like Muslim, you have to look like Muslim, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, if only it was ever that simple, like to be in their brain and to do things so easily because they're so old fashioned. How do my parents react? Yeah, they haven't reacted. My dad hasn't acknowledged it because he's colorblind, but also like he's generally blind in any sort of direction that doesn't have to do anything with him. I'm joking, but my mom has realized, she has said stuff, but like she hasn't full on attacked me or anything like that. But she has made a couple of statements and stuff like that, and I'm like, yeah, I just don't want to wear it anymore. Like I can't because I cannot physically sit down and verbally explain to my parents all of this, all of this, and my bad mental health and how I've been struggling with it my whole life, and you haven't seen it and you haven't acknowledged it. How am I supposed to tell the people that birthed me um, and think that they're doing such an amazing job and such a grand, amazing, perfect job that I'm struggling with mental illness and mental health problems and that I just don't have the will to live anymore. They're just not gonna take it seriously. They're not gonna acknowledge it. They're just gonna. I just already know their reactions and everything, so I'm not gonna have that conversation because I'm not good at confrontation and I'm not one to have conversations. I don't like to explain myself. I don't like to talk for a long period of time, especially to my family and just generally people in general. I don't like to talk. I don't like to have conversations. I'm not a talker. Um, I say as this video is now 47 minutes long and pending, but yeah. How do my parents react? They did not react. My dad doesn't care, weirdly enough, because he's very strict. My mom has said a few stuff, but it's okay. It's not like she's gonna kill me or whatever. Um, my siblings, they honestly don't care. I do. I do hope somewhere along the line that I will find my faith again and that I will put on the hijab again. I do think about it. I I did think about it for a while. Should I just put it back on and shut up? But then I'm like, it came to a point where, like I said, I didn't want to be seen, but it came to a point where I didn't even want to be seen by God. I didn't want God to acknowledge me. I didn't want to be seen by anybody. I didn't want to even be recognized by God. And that's why I think a part of me took off the hijab because number one, I was so angry and so pissed off and just so done with everything. And my brain and my body just couldn't handle it. I reached my breaking point. But number two, I wanted to disappear so much from the world that I didn't even want God to recognize me as like a um species that he created, a creature that he created from the dust and the earth itself. And that is crazy to say out loud, but it is true. If you do not struggle with mental health, you're not going to really understand this video as much. There is a lot more that I wanted to say, but I didn't make any notes, unfortunately. But yeah, just know that I don't really care if you hate or if you're disappointed by the way that my hair looks. I haven't actually done my hair up. I had a shower the other day and this is my natural hair. It's curly. I usually do like heat brush it and straighten it out or whatever. I also have bangs sometimes. And I have dyed it or whatever, but I just don't think it's a big deal because that's not the main reason why I took it off. And I haven't seen someone talk about it this way and talk about taking the hijab off this way. And I hope this helps someone feel seen and feel heard. Um, I'm trying to think, is there anything else that I wanted to say before I log off? I'm surprised I didn't cry. I was on the verge of tears many times. I just think, yeah, I'm trying to think if I can go into more detail in any possible way to describe how I felt this year and how I just felt in general. But, I don't want people to sit there and think that I didn't try hard enough. Because when I tell you, trust me, I did try. I would sit on the prayer mat and just cry for hours on end till my eyes were swollen. Like the last Ramadan, the Ramadan before this Ramadan, I cried quite literally until my eyes were swollen up into a plump, like I had a freaking allergic reaction to something. This year I cried a lot, and people tell me you need to just wake up for the tahajjud. By the way, another thing was like just not having my way, and that pissed me off. And I don't want it to come off as like spoiled or like anything like that. For example, I have been reading the tahajjud for a very long time, ever since I discovered what it was. Istikhara, tahajjud, all of it, istighfar. I've been doing it for so long. I've been having it with a sincere heart. I've been trying every single night or every other night. this year I've probably read Tahajjud so much, just like days on end. Sometimes I would sit there and make dua. Sometimes I would stay awake until Isha, from Isha all the way until Fajr, just crying because I was tired and I was so mentally exhausted and I just didn't want to do anything anymore. I still have no idea what I want to do in my life. I think when you struggle with mental health, it's crazy because I really didn't think when I was younger, when I was 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, that I never even once thought about my future. I never even saw myself having a future. When looking back now from what I haven't blacked out, I don't remember ever thinking about my future. I don't remember ever acknowledging my future existence, ever acknowledging even the next year, because I was in so much pain physically, mentally, emotionally, that I just never saw myself living, never saw myself having a dream career, studying certain things I want to study. I went with the flow, bro. I went with the flow. I went with whatever was in the moment, which wasn't necessarily good because I never planned ahead. And because I never planned ahead and I kept pushing myself and pushing myself and pushing myself over my own limits and over what I could handle, I crashed out. I crashed out so hard that I fell down so hard that I couldn't get back up. I really genuinely couldn't get back up. And yeah, I was reading the Hajj time and time again, and my prayers weren't getting answered, my du'as weren't getting answered. It came to the point where I was begging God to just give me a sign, give me something. Like, can you even hear me? Can you even acknowledge me? Do you even like me? Like, have I done something that's so wrong for you, for me to feel like you hate me? You know, um, and it does sometimes feel like that. It does sometimes feel like God does hate me, and I've done something so bad, even before I took off the hijab, that like I've done something so terribly, terribly bad for all the sins that I've done, which I know that are bad, that I do repent for all the time. But like, what have I done that God just doesn't want to answer me? He doesn't want to give me a sign. He doesn't want to acknowledge me. He doesn't want to talk to me. Like, I got so sick and tired. And then going on TikTok doesn't help sometimes because I would go online and I would see people's duas getting answered straight away. Like, I made dua for this in Ramadan, and then the next day on Eid, they got their dream car, or they got their dream career, or they got married, or whatever. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, I've been making the same duas for like the past 6 years, and like, not one of them has come true to the extent that I wanted to. All the important duas that I make, they still haven't come true. And it's crazy to me because going off topic, changing topic again, but I really wanted to talk about this, and I remember talking about it to myself yesterday. There's a dua, speaking of duas and speaking of Ramadan, there's a dua that I would make a lot in Ramadan that would come up, and it would be like, Ya Allah, take us when you are the most pleased with us. I don't think we acknowledge how powerful that is and what that actually means. Like, deep it right now. I remember seeing a video. I think it was a tiny lecture, like a mini lecture from. It's a Muslim lecturer. She wears the hijab. She's very old. She's very pale. I can't remember her name. She's an icon. And I remember listening to one of her lectures in Ramadan, and she was like, she was talking essentially about this short dua that we make. And she's like, us being in the best version of ourselves is us preparing for death. When we try to be the best version of ourselves, when we get up one day and we say, okay, today, I know, okay, starting from today, I'm gonna start praying properly, and I'm gonna fix my prayer, and I'm gonna wake up for Fajr, and I'm gonna read Quran, I'm gonna read all the surahs after all the Qurans, after Fajr, I'm gonna read Surah Yasin, after Maghrib, I'm gonna read Surah Raqiya, after Isha, I'm gonna read Surah Mulk, you know what I'm saying? Add in a little Surah Rahman here and there, you know what I mean? All these, like, if I do all the sunnahs, if I do my tasbih, if I do my istighfar, if I become the best version of myself, and then we're also making the dua that Ya Allah, take us when you're the most pleased with us, you are essentially preparing for death because you want God to take you when you are the best version of yourself as a Muslim. So when you are becoming the best version of yourself, I hope this makes sense, but when you are becoming the best version of yourself as a Muslim, you should also be prepared that you might die in that state, and you have to kind of have that desire to die in that state and to pass away in that state. You know what I mean? Because you could be making that dua since you're 20, and at 21 you could be the best Muslim you could possibly be, and God will be like, well, you made the dua, like, take us when you are the most pleased with us. I am the most pleased with you. Your time has come. At 21, boom, you're dead. You know what I'm saying? and you were the best possible Muslim you could be, and you've got a one-way ticket to Jannah, and that's amazing. But I don't think we acknowledge the du'as that we make sometimes and deep it down. Like that du'a and that lecture stuck with me because I was like, when I'm telling myself that I'm gonna be the better version of myself as a Muslim girl or even as a Muslim man, if you're going to be the better version of yourself and you're going to upgrade yourself and everything that you do, you're essentially preparing for death. And I don't think when we're doing it and we're trying to be and the better versions of ourselves, I don't think we acknowledge that. I don't think we take that into consideration. I don't think we put that in our head and then we start doing the things. That's not kind of the intention that we make. Because essentially, I don't think a lot of people realize this, but a lot of us still have the mentality that we're gonna die at a really old age. We're gonna die when we're 100. We're gonna die when we're retired and old and grown and wrinkled. But the reality is, we don't know when we're gonna die, right? And a lot of us, I feel like, unintentionally have the mentality that, oh, I'm gonna live so long. I'm gonna live so long, so either I have so much time to prepare myself for death or be a better version of myself and whatever I can do in a couple of years, or I'm gonna start now and I'm gonna be the best that I could be because only God knows. At 21, you could be the best Muslim in the world. Yeah, well, not in the world, but like you could be the best Muslim ever. And then God knows at 30 or even at 22, you might fall back into a huge sin or you might be the worst version of yourself. And when you make the dua, Ya Allah, take us when you're the most pleased with us, you want God to take you when He is the most pleased with you. So He might take you at 21 because He knows at 22 you're not going to be the same version of yourself, or even after ever again, you're going to be the same version of yourself. You know what I mean? Off tangent. I mean, we went slightly off track, but you guys know what I'm saying, right? Um, but yeah, that was weird and that was off track, but I wanted to say that because that wasn't really stuck in my head. But yeah, that's basically it. I think that's basically it. If there's more that I could talk about, I might talk about it later on and make another video on it. But yeah, that's the only reason. I mean, instead of judgment, like, I hope that I won't get judgmental, mean comments. I would rather hopefully get your praise instead of judgment, if that's okay with you guys. Can I please just have a couple of duas, maybe put my name in there, you know what I mean? Maybe put a little bit ease in there, you know what I'm saying? So instead of a judgment and commenting horrible, mean things. Because I also saw a TikTok of a Muslim girl saying, oh, if you're going to take off your hijab, at least make sure whatever's under there looks good and looks amazing and is worth it. And it's like, damn, you think like when people are struggling and fighting for their lives and they take off their hijab because they just don't want to have that obligation anymore, they don't connect with it or whatever the reason, like you think they have time to worry about that shit? Like, again, that just, it might not have been her intention, but it just felt so close-minded and it felt so ignorant. And I don't think people acknowledge how close-minded they are as Muslims. And that is such a bad thing to be. Like, if you cannot be understanding, if you do not have empathy, sympathy, understanding, acknowledgement, or just intellectual ability to understand what another person is going through, you gotta check yourself, girl, because what goes around comes around. Yeah. Yeah, that's basically it. I took it off because I didn't want to be alive anymore. Um, that's pretty much it. I don't really know what to say other than that. Um, oh, a lot of people, like, a lot of men will comment or come online and be like, don't post yourself then, don't post yourself sinning, don't post yourself sinning when you've taken off the hijab, blah blah blah. But it's like, you're gonna see me anyways. Like, if you see somebody in public, it's not like you're gonna lower your gaze, are you? You're gonna see random strangers. You're gonna see random girls who are not wearing the hijab anyways. It's just, it's normality, as sad as it sucks. It's on you to lower your gaze. It's on you to scroll. As much as it is on the other person to be modest, it's also on you to scroll. It's also on you to lower your gaze. It's also on you to ignore it and not look at it. But at the same time, there are people out there who, like, what do you want? Just because they took off the hijab, you want them to stop living? You want them to stop? Just because they took one step back, you want them to stop taking steps forward? Like, You want them to stop because some people love content creation. Some people love making YouTube videos. Some people love making TikToks. Some people it's their job, like it's their part, it's the side hustle. They make money from it. You know what I'm saying? You want them to stop making a living because they took off their job and like people shouldn't see them committing a public sin or whatever. Like you want them to start living their best life. Like I love making YouTube videos. I love it as a hobby. I even if nobody watches it, I do enjoy it, and that's why I always somehow weirdly enough always come back to YouTube. Can you guys hear me? I always end up coming back to YouTube. It's so strange. I will make videos, I will delete them because I hate them, and then I will always end up coming back to them. I feel so dizzy right now and lightheaded. Oh my god. Yeah. I love making content. I want to keep posting different types of YouTube videos. I want to keep discovering my style of content. TikTok, I don't know. I will never know how to use TikTok. It's a strange world out there to me. But I love making YouTube videos. I love making sit down talking videos. I love making get ready with me. I love talking about deep stuff. I like doing video essays and podcast like videos, but I also love doing different types of videos like the matcha video that I made the other day, or some other videos that I'm planning on making. And I like doing it because it's a hobby, it's fun, and I feel like it's a passion project, and it's the only thing that keeps me alive. Like the serotonin that fills my body when I think about creating content and creating YouTube videos is insane. It should be studied because nothing else brings me that much joy. But I don't think we should stop people from living life normally just because they stop doing one thing and because they're struggling. You know what I mean? And men are so quick to judge. I hate men. They're so quick to judge because they will just be so straight to attack. But they also don't be modest. They be wearing shorts, they be showing their knees, they be showing their calves, they be showing their skinny legs, they be showing their arms. They should be low-key wearing hats. They should not be growing their hair, doing their hair in different styles. They should not be technically growing their beards in different ways, shaving their beards, not doing their beards, styling their beards. Some of them have ears pierced, some of them wear gold, some of them spray other. Like, some of them are way too feminine, yo. Some of them have TikTok accounts. Some of them post themselves like thirst traps and idiots. But they will never understand because they do not have, they apparently, allegedly, according to them and their rules and their religion, they do not have to cover up, they do not have to be as modest as women, they do not have to do as much as we have to do, they do not have to go through what we go through, they just don't have to wear a hijab. So they will never know. And I would love to see a video of them experimenting and putting on the hijab on for like a week or like even a day or 24 hours and going out and seeing the world and seeing how it feels because you cannot survive. You really cannot. It's difficult, especially with today's day and age where your looks matter so much. Like your looks matter so much. Not even as a man, but like as a girl, your nails should be done. You know what I'm saying? Your hands should be pretty, your lips should be pretty, your eyes should be pretty, your skin should be clear, your eyebrows should be equal, your face should be snatched and skinny. You shouldn't have a double chin. Your ears should be small. Your hair should be perfect. You should have a certain style. You should have it all figured out, like physically wise. And seeing that as a Muslim girl, sometimes you fall into the trap. Sometimes you want to have a bit of fun. Sometimes you want to look a certain way. Sometimes, okay, I want to wear makeup. I want to look pretty. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to experiment with my style. I want to do this. That's completely fine, yo. You're a human being. People say, oh, who are we to judge? We're not God. And then they are the most judgmental, obnoxious, ignorant, closed minded people and hypocritical people on the planet. I will stand by the statement that men who comment 3333 from the verse from the Quran, they genuinely don't care about the verse, they don't care about the meaning, they don't care about intentions, they always have bad intentions, they just rage bait. They genuinely imagine rage baiting with a Quran verse. Imagine how low you have to be mentally to rage bait with a Quran verse, yeah? They rage bait and they do it on purpose to get under the girl's skin that they're posting under, whereas they're looking at the TikTok with the eyes that they should have lowered, right? And then they're keeping that TikTok on their phone and then they're commenting on that TikTok 323. Yeah. And then they're probably gonna like the comment and then they're commenting or they're gonna like the TikTok, they're gonna comment on the TikTok, and then they're gonna probably follow her, or she's gonna keep coming up on their For You page now. You know what I mean? They're gonna keep coming up on your For You page. Men who comment 3333 are hypocrites. I don't care what anybody says because they all have bad intentions. They will never explain it. They will never say it in a nice way. It will always be passive aggressive. It will always be rude, and it will always come from a horrible, horrible intention and a horrible place. You cannot prove me wrong unless they come out and say that I always do it with a good intention. And even that is hard to believe sometimes. But you are a hypocrite for telling somebody to follow this rule or this hadith or this verse when you yourself do not do it and you yourself are doing it with ignorant intentions. It does not count. You think the Prophet, peace be upon him, or any other prophet who would guide people, who would guide their people, who would try to get other people to join Islam or to come towards Islam in the right way, you think they would just go up to women and go 3333 and then walk away? You think they would just blurt out a verse and walk away? No, context, and respect. And they will have good intentions in their heart. Have a little bit of good intentions in your heart. It's not gonna kill you guys. Like, the internet is such a cruel, horrible, disgusting place, and I love it. I love it, but I hate it because like people are just they're so hypocritical and they're so mean. To go online and to judge somebody else for sinning and coming out and saying that they've done this sin or whatever, maybe to find help or maybe to just, even if they're doing something bad, to then attack them as if they don't know what they're doing is bad. And then, or it's usually people, even if it's like a good hearted TikTok, yeah, where a girl will say she's struggling with this, and this. Or she's even making a TikTok where she's talking about something completely different. Her hair is covered, her neck is covered, her freaking hands are covered, okay? Her chest is covered, she's wearing baggy clothes. You cannot see shit, okay? She's covered in the way that she should be covered. And she would be talking about something so important, so necessary. She will be having the most intellectual conversation that she wants to open the floor to the comments and to other people. And what do you see? These tiny minded, ignorant little baby boy minded men in the comments. 3333. Cover yourself, 3333. You shouldn't be showing yourself, shouldn't be showing it, 3333. She could be talking about the most intellectual, most intelligent conversation of her life. Yeah? And she will be covered correctly. And these men, these little boys will, none of them are men, by the way. None of them are the real definition of men. These boys will go on there and be like, 33, cover yourself, you're gonna go to hell, you're gonna go to hell, you're gonna go to hell, cover yourself, you're gonna go to hell, you're gonna go to hell, you shouldn't be showing your hands, you shouldn't be showing your arms, you shouldn't be wearing this, you shouldn't be doing that, you shouldn't be doing this. And they'll be in their home, yeah, turn the camera towards them. They'll be in their home, in their little booty shorts, probably got their legs showing, probably got the hair, they've probably got those massive hair, like those certain trims that are haram. They've probably got a goatee, which is haram. They've probably got a piercing in one ear. They're probably chatting up so many girls. They love their white girls. They'll probably be talking to their white girls on the side, you know what I mean? They'll comment that and then they'll move on to Snap where they have a bunch of white girls or even a bunch of other girls just that they're talking to that they shouldn't be talking to. You know what I mean? Or they're eating pork, or they're smoking a vape, or they're doing all these other things. But they're so ignorant, yeah, with their own sins, and they think it's okay for them to sin, but it's not okay for Muslim girls to sin. I don't understand why we're held to such a higher standard. Why are we held to such a higher standard? Because we physically are the representation of Islam. Men are not the representation of Islam. They think that they are and they act like they are. But if you're walking down the street and you see a hijabi woman on the right footpath and you see a man on the left footpath, who are you gonna assume is a Muslim? Who is the white man who's far right gonna go up to and ask questions? Who is gonna be asked about how hot it is under there? Do you not feel hot under this weather? Oh my god, how do you do it? Who's going to be asked a bunch of questions? Who's going to be at risk of being attacked? Who's going to be at risk of being hate crime? Who's going to be at risk of being, you know what I mean, bullied, verbally abused, spat at, or just even asked questions, or even flipping just stared down at when walking down the street? The hijabi woman who is physically Muslim, that you know that they are Muslim, or the man that's just normal everyday clothing, even if they're fully covered, even if they're wearing a long sleeve t-shirt and long trousers, even if they don't have a goatee, even if they don't have any piercings, even if they have a normal hair, who are you going to assume is more of a Muslim? Because they could get away with just being Asian. because Christians exist in Asian countries. You know, there's Pakistani Christians, there's Nepalese people sometimes that look like Nepalese. There's Indians. Indians exist. You know what I mean? People might assume they're just Indians. People might assume that they're just Asian, or they're just a man, or they're just Arab, because Arab Christians also exist. There are a lot of very modern Arabs out there. Or versus the woman who is wearing the hijab around her head, even if she's wearing a freaking dress and tights underneath, if she's got that hijab wrapped around her head, who is who is who is the physical representation of the religion? Me or her? You or her or me? Who? I don't know why men think that they're all this and that, and that they hold so much power and they hold so much. Yeah, if you held that much power and you held that much responsibility, you would act like it, and you would protect your women, and you would lower your gaze, and you would be respectful, and you wouldn't even be online commenting all this shit. You wouldn't be making little nasty ass little TikToks. Shush. Shush. I'm joking. This is becoming a man hate video. All of my videos that I rant about, I will always somehow throw shots at men. Always somehow will throw shots at men. Anyways, that's all that I wanted to say. I'm so surprised I didn't cry my eyes out. If there's anything that I forgot, I might make a video down the line. If there's any questions that you have, let me know. Let them know down below. It's fine. If you're gonna hate, go ahead. If you're gonna pray for me, please pray for me. Keep me in your heart, guys. But that's everything that I wanted to say. I'm still gonna keep making content as much as I can because I like it and I enjoy it, and it's something that I want to do, and it's a part-time hobby of mine. And what you're gonna do about it, you know what I'm saying? I still dress modestly, I still pray 5 times a day. There was a point in my life where I didn't even want to pray. I don't know if I already mentioned this, but it came to a point where I was so angry at God, and I was so upset at him, and I was just so frustrated and so angry that I literally got up one day and told myself I'm not gonna wake up for Fajr, and I'm not gonna read Maghrib and Isha. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna read Maghrib and Isha, and I'm not gonna wake up for Fajr. And I had that in my heart and I had that in my head, but I felt so guilty that I got up and prayed anyways. I don't think I'm ever gonna come to a point where I don't like I don't pray, that I'm gonna stop praying. I think I'm always gonna pray. I think it's probably just because it's a force of habit. And yeah, will I say that I have stopped putting effort into my prayers? Yes, I will say that, because um I have lost my faith. I'm going to be honest. I have lost a lot of my faith, and it's so strange to say out loud. It's so weird because before I even put the hijab on, years before I put the hijab on, I had such a strong connection. I used to be so simple minded before the internet. I used to think everything was so simple with Islam, everything was so easy, everything was so beautiful. I loved it. It was me and my God against the world, you know what I mean? Then I put the hijab on, and I was like, but it was still, we were locked in like this. And then when I put the hijab on later on, like when I kept wearing it, it just kept going down and down and down and down and down. It's funny how you have more faith when you don't have the hijab on versus when you have such a low faith when you do put the hijab on. And it's so strange because it did come to a point where I stopped praying, where I stopped wanting to pray, but I felt so guilty in my heart that I got up and prayed anyways. To this day, in Ramadan, I found out from a TikTok, which I still don't know is factual, that apparently there's people out there, there's Muslims out there who don't read the Sunnah prayers in prayers. Like the 5 daily prayers, you don't have to read the Sunnahs, you just have to read the Farz and the Nafil. I didn't know that. I thought you had to read the whole thing. I'm pretty sure you have to read the whole thing. I don't know where people got some that situation from. But hearing that in my head when I was at such a low point, I started getting in the habit of reading only the Farz and just not reading the Sunnahs, like reading the Nafil and the Farz and the Witr and not the Sunnahs, just so I could skip through it, just so it could be easier, it could be quicker, I could get it over and done with. Because even if I'm praying, my heart wasn't in prayer. I didn't have the good intentions to pray. I didn't want to pray. I genuinely would get up and be like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to get up and pray. But I did it anyways because it's a force of habit, and I didn't know what else to do. And to this day, I'm still struggling with praying. I'm still gonna pray, but I don't feel the connection anymore with God. And that's crazy to say because when I was younger, I used to feel such a big connection with Him. Before I put the hijab on, even when I was struggling, it was just me and God. You know what I mean? It was us against the world. Like, and then I put the hijab on, and it was still us against the world, and I was doing so well. And then all of this stuff happened over these past recent years, and then I was just like, I can't do it anymore. And like, especially these last 2 years, I think I've definitely lost a massive chunk of my faith, a massive chunk of my connection. I don't know how I'm gonna get it back. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get it back. I obviously hope that I do. I'm gonna work towards it, and I still try sometimes. You know, there's good days and bad days. Um, I'm currently in the bad days still. I don't want to do it. Like I don't have it in me. I don't have the heart in me anymore. I don't have the will to live. It feels like it feels like the devil's won. It's like me against the devil and the devil has won. You know what I mean? And that pisses me off even more. But like I find myself not making dua anymore. I find myself not caring when I pray. I find myself just not wanting to do anything related to my faith anymore. Like I've lost such a huge chunk to it, and I do feel guilty about it, but I also don't want to tell myself that it's such a like I don't want to solely blame myself. Like even though at the end of the day it's me versus me, and it's on me if I lose my faith, right? But I was just so angry at God. I was so upset. Even literally like the day before yesterday, I broke down to my sister because I was so angry. I was so pissed off, and I was so like I was so upset that and I was just tired. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're just tired, and I'm not somebody who speaks my emotions out loud. I'm not somebody who wears my heart on my sleeve at all. In fact, it's locked away with like 70 bajillion locks before you can get to it. Um, so for me to break down like that, it was really embarrassing. It was very embarrassing, but that's how you know I was at my breaking point. But yeah, even the day before yesterday, before I broke down to her, I was just, I, I was over it. I was so upset. I was crying. I was pissed off. Even then, I was angry at God. I know, like, hello, my voice is just gone. I know deep down that obviously it's not God's fault. It's never God's fault. That's not the way that it works. But in my head, I cannot help but feel resentment, feel hatred, feel anger, and feel tired. Um, that's just me being vulnerable and honest. Everybody goes through phases of life, phases of faith with their deen. Inshallah, maybe one day I'll find my way back to God. It's not like I've stopped being a Muslim, by the way. That sounds like I've just quit being a Muslim. I'm still a Muslim in my heart. Doesn't matter what you have to say to my face. Doesn't matter what you have to say to me. I will forever and always be a Muslim. Fingers crossed. Inshallah. I'll forever and always be a Muslim. I don't think I have it in me not to be a Muslim. Like, I think the guilt would eat me alive. Like, I tried. I cannot even tell you. Like, I'm being dead serious. I was so angry, and I was like, I was laying in bed and I was like, I'm just not even going to pray anymore. Like, I'm so angry. Let me show God that I'm just pissed off and I'm angry and I'm just done. And I'm just not even going to get up and read Isha. Laying there, scrolling on TikTok, saying, no, I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to do it. It hits 12 a.m. and I'm like, fine. I'm like, fine, I'm gonna get up and go pray. Like, fine, whatever, I'm still gonna do it. Like, like I couldn't do it. That shows that there's still something inside of me. You know what I mean? That there's still faith inside of me. There's still something connecting me and dragging me towards God. You know, there's still something bringing me towards Him. The fact that I felt guilty enough to get up and pray and do wudu and sit on the prayer mat and actually do it. Like, I don't think that I'm necessarily gone so far left, but like right now, I'm in the middle. It's fine to question God, it's fine to question Islam, it's fine to lose your faith. I think it should be less demonized. I don't know why it's so demonized to lose your faith in a way where you're struggling with your mental health. I've seen a lot, there's a lot of TikTokers out there who do advocate for it, and I do like watching their videos sometimes on my For You page, whether or not they talk or not. There is this one hijabi girl, I think she's Somali. I, I I don't know, I'm not sure, but she talks about mental health and Islam, and I think it's quite beautiful the way that she does it. There's just not a lot. That's the only girl I can think of. There's actually not a lot. Why am I losing my voice? This is how you know I'm introverted and I don't talk to people. Um, but yeah, yeah. I just thought I'd make a quick little explanation because I was a big advocate for my hijab, and a lot of people, by the way, a lot of people subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm talking like I have a million subs. I know, meet up, relax, whatever, but a lot of people did subscribe to my YouTube channel because I was a hijabi, because I was a Muslim girl hijabi, doing funny content and doing these type of videos that you don't usually see Muslim girls do. Because usually, low key, no hate, but like, why are Muslim TikTokers, especially the girl ones, so boring? so boring. It's either makeup or beauty and lifestyle, or like they all end up getting married. Like they all become famous and they end up getting married and having nuclear families and then getting pregnant and having babies, and it's so boring. Like, where are like the normal girls? Where are the fancy girls? Where are the girls? Live the life, no, do something, like. I just feel like there's a gap for Muslim girls to connect to my type of videos that I'm trying to make and in the process of making, and my type of content. And I want to bring that forward, and I want to try and, you know, fill in that gap. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because there are some, but like sometimes they're just either so boring or just extremely loud and aggressive and talking over each other, and that's just not funny. But not to say that I'm funny. I'm literally not. I'm the unfunniest person in the world. I'm just dumb and stupid. And thank God for editing, because that's the only way sometimes I do it. If I find it funny, I will keep it in. I don't care about when I'm editing my videos. I don't care about like what other people are gonna think or what my views are gonna think. I think about myself. If I find it funny, I'm gonna do it like that. If I have a vision in my head, I'm gonna like portray that vision. And if I find it good and funny, it's fine with me. I don't care. I make myself laugh. Where am I going with this? Yeah, I think there is a little bit of a gap for Muslim influencers, because why are they all getting married and having babies and getting pregnant? It's just so boring. And like their content is so boring. Like, come with me to live at my in-laws. Come with me to make breakfast with my in-laws. Come with me to do my makeup with me to announce my pregnancy. Do my makeup with me to do this, do that, making this, making that. And it's just like some dead ass videos, but somehow it gets so many views and likes, and like people are fans of that. I don't know. Maybe there's a huge audience for that, but that's not my type of vibe and audience. I feel like it's a little tiny community of thing missing, and maybe I can fill in that gap. Maybe not. Who knows? Um, I'm getting tired. I think I might need to take a nap now. I talk so much. I literally need to take a nap. Oh no, my phone is on 20%. Yeah, but that's it, guys, man. That's all that I wanted to say. I'm not less of a Muslim because I took it off. Um, I am struggling with my faith, and that's the factual things. I'm not gonna stop making content because I love it. I enjoy it. It's the only thing that makes me happy. Oh yeah, what was I saying? I was saying so dumb. I was saying that I lost a lot of subscribers from when I posted that matcha video. When I posted, like, I came back because I deleted all my old videos, which I kind of hate that I did that because they were kind of good, but I was like in psychosis or whatever. I don't know. Um, having an episode as always, but I deleted all these videos and all my community posts as well. And then I came back and boom, it's like this matcha video with no explanation. And I kid you not, I lost like 20 subscribers. Like, it's fine. It's not the end of the world. It's not like I was gonna make a huge money or anything like that. I don't care. But it's just funny. It was funny, and I thought I would make this video because a lot of people are subscribed because they're Muslim girls and because they're hijabis and because I was a hijabi, and it was that correlation. I'm still a hijabi at heart. I'm still gonna try and make content that I used to make. Nothing's changed. I'm just being more honest and vulnerable about what it is like to be me. Maybe one day I can explain it further. I probably will make more videos like this if people like it, because um, a lot of people that have watched my videos, they do like the sit down talking videos rather than the me doing stuff videos. But I like to do both. But yeah. Anyways, that's it. I hope you don't hate me. um, I hope you understand where I'm coming from. I'm so surprised that I didn't cry. I'm sure there's so much that I freaking left out because I've blacked out, and it's also 9 o'clock in the morning now, and I'm eating chocolate cake, and I think I need to take a hibernation nap because that interviewee, she just didn't pull up. What is up with people like that? But yeah, I hope this makes sense. I hope I included everything. If not, I might make a second video or TikTok or whatever. Follow my TikTok. It's not the same name. I think I'll put it up here. I think it's, what did I call it? I forgot to change the name. Again, I don't know how Simon Left Crisis. Mochi Me or something like that. I made a new account. Follow my Instagram. My Instagram is so easy. But yeah, look forward to new content, please. Look forward to more content. I'm gonna try and push through as much videos as I can, or pre-record as much videos as I can, because why not? Why not? I love it. I love it. I love making content. One day when I have the budget, I will make such good videos. I have such amazing videos planned. I have vision for videos planned in my head that I want to perform and like turn into reality, make it concrete. But I don't have the budget for it. I don't have like the not the time. It's like time, budget, and just like the ability. And there's a lot of limitations to my mind capacity, my mind space, my mind kingdom. What is it? What does Sherlock say? My mind house, my mind kingdom, my mind whatever. Um, but yeah, one day, guys. I'm trying. I'm trying. I hope you guys understand. Please subscribe. I'm really close to 1K subscribers. That would be great if you guys who left me could come back, please. I'm joking. I'm joking. Do whatever you want. I don't care. Live your best life. I didn't even. I took like 2 bites of the chocolate cake. I'm literally gonna finish this. I promise you, I didn't eat all of that right now. I swear to you, I didn't eat all of that right now. Yesterday, my sister took 2 pieces. My other sister took a big chunk, like 4 chunks, and I ate some yesterday. Um, but yeah, that's it, man. That's it. No hair reveal, no accentuating makeup. Do whatever you want to do. This is not your sign to take off the hijab. I will not be responsible for that. Um, this is not an excuse, but it is a reason as to why I took off the hijab. As much as I could explain it again, I'm not good with verbal explanations when it comes to my personal life and my mind and my mental health and personal things and being vulnerable. I'm not good at that at all. Never have been, never will probably. This is as best as I could describe it. And yeah, no grand hair reveal, no nothing. I did dye my hair. I know it looks like I'm balding. I promise you it's because I pinned it. I did kind of go for like this light brown milk tea color, but it didn't turn out great. And now I'm thinking I need professional help, but who's gonna pay like £500 for me to fix my hair? You know what I'm saying? It did look good when I first dyed it, but I think it's already washing out. But anyways, in the sun, I promise you it looks good. Let me insert a picture. It kind of looks like this, but I don't know. I kind of want to change it again. Also, I don't know what kind of hairstyle to do. It was kind of like a wolf cut situation. Anyways, I did also have bangs, but like guys, it was 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay, give me a break. I wasn't gonna do like a big grand show up, poofy makeup on and everything. I just can't be bothered with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Can somebody like get me to 100K subscribers so I can monetize these videos and I can fix my hair? I'm joking and make the videos I've always wanted to make. I'm joking, whatever. I don't care. Anyways, okay, I'm getting tired and my eyeliner is not equal at all. That's lovely. Um, but yeah, thank you for watching and listening. I hope whatever you were doing, you completed it and you enjoyed this video. Give me your opinions down below. Give me your explanations down below. Give me your hate comments down below. Give me whatever you want to write the comments, because usually when I make videos, nobody ever comments and it's so awkward. It's like being on FaceTime or being like in a school group video call or like a Zoom call with like students with other students and nobody's talking and you're the only one giving ideas. Or it's like talking to a brick wall. It's like when you give your idea to a group of people and they like it or no, or they just like completely ignore it. Can somebody please comment, say something, anything, please? If you say I'm ugly, I will cry. If you say my nose is big, I will sue. Yeah. And if you make fun of my double chin, you're gay. Okay, seriously. Okay. Please look forward to my content and stuff. Okay, bye. Bye. Why is this so awkward? Okay, bye. Okay, bye. Okay, bye. Okay, bye.